All right, we're rolling into commercial, so we've got about 3.5 minutes.
We'll need the mayor here. Of course, David is used to this, so. So, do you normally buy him shirts?
I used to have to go
No,
to
well, I
the
did this time.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Okay. So you have your water, and you don't drink coffee, or you don't want any?
No, thank you. No, thank you. I served this morning.
I drink cocoa.
Coffee bad for your eyes?
No, it's fine. Bad for the shakes.
You can't have the shakes.
I can't handle caffeine. I just never have coffee or anything.
Did you watch Trump's speech yesterday?
Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. And these two twerk women. Oh, I shouldn't have gone there. I'm talking about Kasich. I'd be pissed off too at Kasich. He tried to stop me from getting the goddamn nomination.
Mhm.
And he did everything he could to stop me.
Sure did.
I mean, Romney said some words, but this guy went out of his way.
Yeah.
So he's every right to say something about him. And
Right.
also the lying press, they're also bad.
I love it. He calls them out all the time. He's going to call them out
Are
for
you
4
gonna
years.
start it, David, since Brett's not here?
Sure, okay.
Mhm.
Just tell me when.
Give the word.
Happy holidays from the Solid Waste Disposal District of Indian River County.
Are you a real estate professional? Would you like to work with a solid team of people who have professional careers in real estate and are outlisting and outselling most of the competition? You can put your real estate career in high gear now. Let me introduce you to Mr. John King with Remax Crown Realty. He's a broker among brokers with a long history of integrity and honesty. Plus, you'll get the best commission split and support you can count on. He's known for creating a team like family that works together. Find out more. Contact Mr. John King at Remax Crown Realty in Vero Beach. 772-589-3054.
Here he comes.
772-589-3054. Skin cancer is no laughing matter. You should have a full body scan every year at Treasure Coast Dermatology with Dr. Tim Einine. He's over on 37th. That's right. Take care of yourself, and your skin will take care of you. Your very favorite restaurant food delivered directly to your door. That's right. Log on to chowcab.com. Chowcab.com. Now, they have
Hey.
arrived at
It's all here.
delivered direct to your door from your favorite restaurant. Chowcab.com.
Uh-oh. Pledge of allegiance.
Come on.
Thank you, Rat.
Mhm. Poor Sean. He's amazing.
Because he puts up with this guy.
From David.
Hey. What the fuck?
I'll take care of it.
Okay. Did you escape? Just want my new headsets to escape. That's all I care about.
Shabbat, it's going to be a good day today. This is what it means. It's blessing. Thank you. Okay.
I'm playing your Christmas song right now.
That's good.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Come on.
Since you're
No,
trying to
no.
destroy the studio.
Thank you, Beverly.
You're welcome. Okay, Mom.
It's going to be a good day today, you know.
Well, last night was fun. He sang at the public. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, how'd your film festival go?
Thank you, David.
Right here.
All right. David's got your papers.
Oh.
and your reference.
Where's my new shirt?
I'll put it up by you.
Okay. May I have another cup of coffee? Would you mind?
No problem, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's from the movie Mrs. Miracle, which will play to 23 million people tonight on the Hallmark Channel. Make sure you watch it. And Beverly is in here this morning, and you're looking so pretty. You were looking gorgeous last night.
Oh, well, thank you.
On your way to the
Publix? Oh, I was on the
No.
way to the museum.
on my way to the Publix.
Well, you had me stop by.
She was on her way to the
No.
She was on the way to the Publix because she was going to see me perform. Debbie Murphy and I were there.
Right, and I was going to the museum and I thought I'd stop by and support you. And you're pretty wonderful to do something like that.
Okay, so just like when you go to church or synagogue or wherever else, we ask you to please put away your cell phones at this point so we can introduce our specialist, Mr. Walsh.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Very good, thank you.
Yes, good to see you. By the way, I just spoke with Dr. Chris Olenek, and he said he has no interest in that.
It's currently a walk-in clinic.
Yeah, he has no interest in that.
Right.
Oh, it is a walk-in clinic.
Yeah.
Is it the West, whatever it is? Oh, so they're saying bye-bye, huh?
Yeah.
Are they saying bye-bye out of business or are they moving out
I'm
of?
going to be a concierge physician.
Oh, concierge.
Yeah.
Ah, speaking of physicians, look who just popped in from the other side of the universe. There he is in his scrubs waiting to go into surgery this morning. He is. A round of applause for Dr. J. Mellon.
Hello, Rat.
Yes, folks, this is the man you hear me promoting incessantly. Oh my God, if I ever hear him say again, today's broadcast is brought to you by Center for Advanced Eye Care, Dr. J. Mellon. The guy who works.
And all the other doctors. Mention all the other doctors. It's a
Dr.
litany.
Mellon, Dr. Kadadaday, Dr. Brannigan, Dr. Katz, and the one that works on the kids, Schnell. See, of all the times I get it right, and then he's in here and I freeze up. That's my life. Anyway, hello, Dr. Mellon from Center for Advanced Eye
Hello,
Care. Here he is with his Fiji water. He's got his scrubs on, and he's constantly looking at his device, which he's not looking at now, but he has created. Have you been? Oh, you were over there to see his new device.
Yes.
The big ball, the globe.
Right.
The eye globe. What is it called?
Globe check.
Globe check. And that's an amazing thing, isn't it?
It's an extraordinary thing, yes.
It really is. We're in the company of true intellect here. Of course, you are too. I mean, he's the only guy I know that you read Will Durant's History of Civilization from cover to cover. You've seen it, right? You know what I'm talking about. No, Will Durant, he and his wife took their entire lifetimes and wrote the
13
history.
volumes.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's he started out, it was Will Durant's History of Civilization. His wife contributed so greatly that after about the 5th volume, it became Will and Ariel Durant's History of Civilization.
Yeah. They walked into history with those books.
No question. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lifetime.
Hmm.
My brother had a collection. He was like you, a voluminous reader. Yeah. So Dr. Mellon is in here, and he has created the Globe Check. Explain to our listeners how this is. Okay, first of all, let me establish the fact that 84% of all people in America will never get their eyes checked.
At least.
Why? I know the number one doctor they're scared of is a dentist.
Mhm.
Okay. I was talking to Dr. Plains yesterday. He's a dentist over on the. Have you met Dr. Plains?
Mhm.
DDS. He's over there near the Village Beach Market.
Okay.
What a nice guy. Really nice guy. Very smart. 33 years of age. Moved here from Miami. A little bit of a Spanish background. Married. One child on the way. You like him. Very bright guy. But why did I bring him up? What did I say? Is that?
We were talking about the globe and
Oh, that
that
84% of the people don't. Yeah, he was saying how frightful people are of going to the dentist. But I don't think people are afraid to go see their.
no, most people just think they can see and they're okay. They don't understand what could be brewing under the surface. And that's a perfect example of someone that came into our office on Tuesday, 47-year-old female
47
who
years
walked
young.
into our office completely blind in one eye from glaucoma and almost blind in the other eye from
No,
glaucoma. And
she or
had no
he?
idea. It's a she.
She had no
I
idea.
had no idea. Her eye was aching a little bit. Her pressure was extraordinarily high. It was in the 60s, which normal pressure is anywhere from 8 to 21. If you get a pressure above that, it doesn't mean you necessarily have glaucoma, but you're more at risk. In fact, you can have normal eye pressure and still have glaucoma. And that's why I always tell people who go to these health fairs and they say, "Oh, I had my eye pressure checked. It's fine." That doesn't mean you don't have glaucoma. You got to
Really?
look at the optic nerve.
What is glaucoma?
It's basically an optic neuropathy. So your nerve dies. The nerve that connects your eye to your brain dies.
Oh,
So
just
it's
like
like-
when Barbara had chemo, she has neuropathy in her legs. One of our
Right.
friends had too much and she's learning how to walk again.
Right. So it's
Wow.
damage to the nerve, but the peripheral nerves can regenerate. The central nerves cannot, like a spinal cord. You can't regenerate spinal cord. The optic nerve is a nerve that is like a spinal cord. So once that nerve is damaged, it's irreversible. It does not come back.
Mhm.
And so, this is the perfect example of why we are doing what we're doing with this kiosk. It's a kiosk that will examine the eyes for people who don't go to the eye doctor, and it'll be in convenient locations. So it can be
This
done
is a
quickly.
big globe, ladies and gentlemen, a little smaller than the size of this room, and you sit at it. Now, what I thought was, when you created it, I thought, now they've been working secretly on this creation, he and Dr. Katz, for a couple of years now. But I thought you would sit in the seat and the seat moved around. But ingeniously, what they do is inside the globe, the equipment moves around. The patient is stationary. You'll walk into a mall. There will be a technician there with a nice white lab jacket.
That's his view, but
He doesn't realize. See, I am the marketing guy. You stick to the eyes. I know the marketing. And the people tell me something. Now, if you walked into a mall and you see somebody with a blue shirt on, just tucked in normally, and they're sitting at this big globe,
Mhm.
you're going to wonder who it is. To me, it's not going to give me a lot of credibility, but I see somebody there in a white lab coat who looks like they're from a doctor's office, or they could have one of those things that have the little flowers or the little dogs on, or whatever, the things you see like
Dogs, well,
the veterinarians. When you go to the veterinarian's office, they have anyway. So, but I prefer the white lab coat, like, don't you like the idea that Dr. Mallon is here? This sounds like superficial,
But
right?
I think.
But here's Dr. Mallon. He comes in here in his black scrubs today, right? That's what those are, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So don't you all like the fact that, you have a doctor in here that looks like a doctor?
Yeah, but I think if I were in a department store and saw this Globe Tech, and if I saw a
Globe
white
Tech.
jacket, I would assume he's a doctor. But his blue jackets are beautiful. They just correspond with the actual tech.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, look.
I know I like it.
Look, Doctor. Hey, look, Dr. Mount. You know what's good about my job? The doctors wait for me.
You're the
I was
star.
almost late getting in here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason the extended play on my song, Have a Very Merry Christmas, was I came in here and everybody had a nice smile on their face. And Beverly is standing right next to my chair. And she has a warm, beautiful cup of coffee waiting for me, my newspaper, everything set up. David had a gift of a shirt that's laying there in a package. And what does Rhett do? As soon as I walk over, out of my thumb, hit my keep calm and carry on coffee cup. And my pants are still soaking wet. Anyway, that's what happened pre-air. So,
Fortunately, the cup says keep calm and carry on.
That's
So
right.
you
yes.
did that.
Keep calm. You know who that's from, don't you?
I don't know anything, only what you tell me.
Do you know or don't you know, smart Alec?
No, I don't know.
Oh, never in the course of history have so few done so much for so many. Yes, carry on. Keep calm and carry on. This shall be our finest hour. Now you know who it is, right?
Mhm.
That is okay, maybe. Wasn't my best Winston, but So this globe check. You'll walk into a mall, you'll walk in Beverly's case, she'll walk into a department store, if there's any still in business in 10 years. And you'll see this person in a white lab coat
Oh, he is so
He's
insistent.
persistent.
designed by Red Palmer. Well, you know what? You got to always sell. Don't think of pink elephants. What are you thinking about? Don't think of pink elephants. Go ahead.
I don't know where you're going with this. How does it?
I don't even know why I care. Why do I care? I mean, I don't even have any stock in this thing yet. I want to buy some stock or something because then I'll have a dog in the hunt.
You're leading up to it. That's what you're doing.
Mhm.
Well, I want him to succeed. part of my thrill in life is seeing my friends succeed.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a part of this or not, I want to be a part of it.
Well, actually, let's talk about what the result of
Globe check.
going to the globe check, sitting in this chair and resting your chin on the little pedestal that they have for you, like they do in his own office.
Mhm.
But what comes out of this? What happens next?
Well, hopefully we prevent 47-year-olds from going blind. The exact scenario of what just presented to our office the other day is what is so awful to see, because that's something that could have been prevented. And, if you get someone at an early stage, you can prevent that vision loss that we're
By the way,
The
we-
technology that you offer at this unit is so vast. It's unbelievable what you can do today. I saw the printout. You get a printout when you attend to, I don't know, what do you say, attend to this thing?
Well, when you have a globe check scan, what'll
Okay,
happen is
when-
that'll be sent to you, and you'll have the test will all be read by a board certified ophthalmologist. And You'll
Okay.
have a report sent to you. You'll open it up on your email or a text, or you can have it mailed to you. We'll have various ways to get the information to you. And once you open that report, it'll tell you what's going on with your eyes. You'll have a breakdown. You can see it. And it'll give you a network of referral doctors. So if you're getting this done in the airport and you're traveling through Atlanta and you've got a 2-hour delay and you say, I haven't had my eyes checked in 10 years, get your globe check done. It's going to give you and you live in Seattle, it's going to tell you the doctors in Seattle that you should see in that area for what you have going on with your eyes. So it'll make it very easy. We're trying to remove all the barriers and the excuses for why people don't get their eyes checked.
So you don't get a printout right then?
You'll receive that within 24 hours. So it has to go to a reading center where an ophthalmologist will read the scans and then send it to you.
I mentioned to Dr. Mellon, I always thought that getting the exam for new glasses was adequate. And you making me realize that I'm going to definitely have you check my eyes.
Yeah, getting an eye check for glasses is a very superficial, that's just checking what's called the refractive error. So if you need glasses, your eyes are out of focus, it says, okay, you put this prescription in front of your eye and it brings it into focus. But being farsighted or nearsighted or presbyopic where you lose your near vision, that has nothing to do with the health of your eye and what's going on the inside of your eye, which is where the blood vessels are and the optic nerves are and the retina. And it's really truly the window into your body. We can see things that affect your whole systemic being. So we can see whether you have high blood pressure, diabetes. Again, the big things are diabetes, glaucoma, but systemic health issues can show up as well.
It's quite involved, isn't it?
It is. And the technology is going to continue to get better. So we know that, our initial globe is probably going to be smaller footprint as we go forward, just like the first computers. Now you have a computer on your hand. You can hold this. So at some point it may be a mobile device. It may be maybe small like an old telephone,
Really?
where you have the old size. You'd sit down in a telephone booth and maybe the instrumentation is such that you can have this done faster and in a smaller footprint.
You can buy up some old telephone booths.
Maybe. They've got to be somewhere. I don't know where those went.
But the printout that I saw showed the retina, for example. It showed every layer of the eye.
Right. It's like an MRI of the retina. You'll actually see the layers of your retina. We can examine that for macular degeneration and any kind of pathology. We'll basically see it.
So what's the big fear with this? What's the big fear of glaucoma? What will it do? What will it do?
Well,
If it's left unchecked.
You'll be blind, completely blind.
Okay, so what are the telltale signs? Like,
There are none.
I mean,
There are none.
no.
It's a silent blinder. By the time you actually would know
Well,
you
it's
had
been
glaucoma,
2 years since I've been in to see you.
if
Probably
you
means I
had
need to come
glaucoma
a year and a
and
half.
you didn't know it and you
Yeah.
continue to have damage, and I've seen it. There's an attorney in town that I take care
You
of.
can't rectify it?
No.
Is an attorney to take
Irreversible
care of it? And what
damage.
happened?
He came in and he had advanced glaucoma as well. Had no idea.
Now, were you able to take it from that point? I mean,
Well, we
is
have
the damage
slowed
is
the progression.
the damage is irreversible.
Irreversible. Yeah. Once it's done, it's done.
So, but you can stop it there. But it's
You,
like,
you can potentially stop it.
shucks.
You can't always stop it.
You know what the
can try
funny
to
thing
halt
about
the
not the
progression.
funny thing, the odd thing about these things is a bad sight or whatever it might be kind of creeps up on you, and you don't know it.
Well,
Like,
we're programmed for denial. I mean, that's what our whole body is programmed for, denial. We deny changes. I mean,
denial and rebellion.
so it's just part of the way we adapt. I mean, it's part of it's nature's way of sort of dealing with changes as we go through life. But we all are in a little bit of a denial about our health.
We're all victims of habit. And as long as everything seems to be okay,
Most people
You
know
know-
something's wrong with them physically, but
Yeah.
they may ignore it.
I'd like to do a.
You know, that little
Yeah.
chest pain, that's really just a little, acid reflux or, people deny heart attacks all the time. Doctors deny it. They know, I got this radiating chest pain that's going down my arm. Yeah, maybe it's just a little musculoskeletal. Maybe I worked out a
Did
little
you
too
hear
hard
what
last
happened
night.
to my new friend over at Riverside Theater? He came for a ride in my boat. He was starring as he was the director and had the lead role at Riverside. So Jason Edwards came over to my house with Trenna, who was the lead actress. We made friends. I did an interview with him. I did a video with him. Anyway, the show was getting close to ending weeks later. I'd seen the show. I don't know if you got to see the show. Did you see the show? Johnny Cash?
yes.
Okay, you saw it too.
Oh, wonderful.
Anyway, he played the older Johnny Cash. But anyway, he was 62 years of age, but he looked young. But anyway, so he comes over. Apparently, Trenna told me that he started to feel shortness of breath, acidity in the stomach, and I guess some sort of other. There was a third symptom. He goes to a local walk-in clinic, and he sits there, and the wait is so long. He says, "I got to go do my matinee," so he leaves.
Mhm.
Does his matinee, I guess, on Sunday, then does the Sunday night show. I don't know, I think that was it. And then Monday, I guess, didn't go.
Right.
And then goes to sleep Tuesday night and dies in his sleep Monday
Right.
morning.
So he knew.
Tuesday
I
morning.
mean, there was something going on, but
I have a question for Dr. Mallon.
Mhm.
Is it genetic? I mean, if a parent has glaucoma, so
it certainly can be. There are family histories. There's some genetic links that we don't really fully understand. But yes, if you have a family member with glaucoma, you're much more likely to have glaucoma. But you can have no family history as well. That's why it's so dangerous for people to completely ignore it. And you really should start having, you need an eye exam when you're younger to check and make sure. And then really every couple of years when you're younger, if everything's healthy. But after 40, you really should be going to the eye doctor on a regular basis. And, they can advise you as to whether you need to be seen yearly or every other year or more frequently. But by not going, again, you just are, there could be a lot brewing there that you don't know. And that's what we're reaching out to. We're hoping that we can reach out to people who know better, but just don't have the access, or it's just, they're busy. They're working. They don't have 2 or 3 hours out of their day. They can't carve it out of their schedule. I mean, I know how it is for me trying to go to the dentist. Thankfully, my dentist will meet me at 7:30 in the morning before I go to the office because I'm scheduled for months at a time. And so for me to carve out a part of my day is a very difficult thing to do. So I understand people who work and are busy, and even people who aren't working, they're busy. It's just one of those things. There's barriers. Then they know I'm going to do it, and then they don't do it.
but they have to realize this is very important.
It
You
is.
have made me very aware.
Nothing more precious than your sight. I mean, really, there's so many things that you could lose other than your sight that would be, you just when you see people who are visually impaired, it's just a very difficult thing. My aunt, I grew up around. My aunt had juvenile macular degeneration, so she never drove a car. By the time she was 13, she lost her central vision. And, those are difficult things. I watched my grandmother late in life have macular degeneration, couldn't drive, couldn't read. And not that those things are preventative or that you can prevent macular degeneration, but you certainly can arrest it. You can slow it. You can treat it now.
Mhm.
Whereas in the past, we didn't have treatments for particularly the wet version, which is the more aggressive.
So to prevent is to get to the eye doctor like yourself and get examined.
Sure, figure it out.
And
Do you have
stall
risks?
this from progressing.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, it's a real eye opener. Pardon the pun.
I like
It's a real eye opener. On that note, we're going to take a break. Hey, today's broadcast is brought to you by Postal Connections. Postal Connections is near Steinmart. Are you aware where that is, Dr. Mallon? Do you have any packages you're going to be shipping anywhere? Don't you have family up like in Michigan? Well, anyway, Postal Connections is on US 1 and 12th, right next to Sunshine Furniture, right behind Carrabba's. Okay, Mark is the owner. They'll take great care of you, and you'll get great treatment there. I just can't explain. You will save money on your shipments, and you'll get great service. Mark is incorrigibly friendly and honest. Mark is the owner of Postal Connections next to Steinmart. Okay, what's the second thing? Also, today's broadcast brought to you by Dr. Rich Steinfeld. Okay, great orthopedic surgeon. He worked on your hand, right, Dr. Mallon?
He did.
I mean, he's the doctor. He's the orthopedic guy that the doctors choose. So you need orthopedic work, your bones, Dr. Rich Steinfeld. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back. Hope you're having a nice day. It's great to be with you here on the air, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Mallon is in here from Center for Advanced Eye Care. We have Beverly. Hello, Beverly.
Good morning.
And we have David Walsh. Tell him we'll be right back, David.
We'll be right back, David.
Mhm.
Mhm.
How you doing?
If I was doing any better, I'd be wearing your shoes.
What brings you in here?
I just thought that.
Oh, yeah.
So that show is on tonight that has his song.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I guess it's on Hallmark.
yeah.
Mhm. How have you been, David?
Good, very good.
Good. Hmm.
And you?
Very well. Worked with Kathy yesterday. She's so delightful.
She's a trip.
She's so cheerful.
Yeah.
But she was a little bit flustered, and we have a lot going on here. And, she wanted to concentrate on her job. And she said, because we were getting the magazine together to mail, and she said, I'm a little bit flustered today, but she does it in such a cheerful way. It's not a downer, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
Yeah. So you're lucky she works with you in what capacity?
She's an all-around handy person.
Is she? Okay. Mhm. Wow, it's so exciting for you.
It's a lot of work. We have a company that we are working with now that's kind of putting together a business plan, and there's so many regulations and so many things that you have to do to get this. It's mind numbing. It really is. You can't just build something and go put it out there. There's obstacles, roadblocks,
And
and
people don't realize what you have to endure to get to this point.
it's insane.
They think, oh,
I live in Fort Pierce.
Okay, hold on. We have to ask our judges if that's permitted. What's the address?
It's,
Yes, the judges say you're in fact a citizen of Vero Beach. You can now listen to the mayor of the airwaves.
have been for years.
Have you? You like our little? You like our little show?
Yes,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling us. Now you are wearing a button, and you brought in for show and tell. You brought in this lovely, smiling lady, and her name is.
Maureen Melvin.
Hi, Maureen. How are you?
I'm doing great.
This is Beverly, by the way,
Hi, Beverly.
our concierge, and I'm Rhett Palmer, the mayor of the Airways. And I understand there's a special event coming up at the. To be honest with you, I didn't even know this existed till now.
that's why we're here.
Okay, we need to do more of this. So tell us all about this.
Heathcote Botanical Gardens has been in Fort Pierce for 30 years, and Maureen can speak to that better than I can. I will speak about the Garden of Lights. It's our second year. It runs for 6 weekends, 12 nights. And like many, many botanical gardens in the United States, they put on a holiday illuminations. And most of them look differently, and as ours does too. If you compare it to any other, they should look different. We are accenting the garden aspect of it. We create light flowers. They're handcrafted by our volunteers. They create flower beds with these light gardens. I believe Maureen may have a picture. She's shaking her head. No. I wish we couldn't show your audience anyway.
I can't wait to come down and see this.
Well, I tell you what, I invite you and whomever you wish
Would
to
be
bring as a
Barbara.
guest.
Yes.
To
And we
be-
can bring, would you like to go with us too?
Oh, of
I think
course.
you'd love this.
Yes.
To
Okay.
be my guest.
Thank you, sir.
When you get to admission, ask for me.
Now, was this every night or a one-time event, or how does this
This
work?
is Friday and Saturday nights for 6 weekends.
Okay, hold on.
We opened
Friday.
last weekend.
Saturday nights, 6 weekends. Okay. Who owns this?
The garden.
The garden.
The volunteers own it.
Yeah. I mean, well, what's with this? The fact that, I've been on the air 23 years. I didn't know about this, and this sounds fantastic.
Just
Have
I
you-
guess you got to come see
Okay,
it
let me
from
ask you
time
this.
to time.
Have you been out to the Grawl Law Group out here? Okay. Now I want you two to come out to the Grawl Law Group out west on Route 60. They put out tens of thousands of Christmas lights. You drive through this mansion owned by a very successful law group. Bernie and his wife, they have 8 or 9 children, and 3 or 4 of them became attorneys anyway. It is gorgeous. Now you need to go there. But I tell you what, I never knew this existed. I can't wait to come down. So Friday and Saturdays for the next 6 weeks, and you do this light festival at this botanical gardens.
We call it
My eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
Heathcote.
Heathcote. And how long has this been in existence?
The garden has been 30 years. This is our second year with Garden of Lights.
Wonderful. Oh, so it's only the second year with the Garden of Lights.
That is correct.
Because this
Well,
sounds great.
they had illuminations before, and then we decided to ramp it up.
Now, who are you? Because you were a successful
I-
businessman wherever you came from, right?
I am a volunteer.
But where are you from originally?
I've lived in 17 states.
Military? Did you sell military contracts, or what would you
Well,
do?
my father was a contractor, construction contractor,
Ah.
and then I was as they say, the Defense Intelligence Community contractor.
Oh, okay. So I knew there was some contracts military-wise. 17 different states. I used to sing for the military going around the country. But great to have you in here. So now, do you have a website?
Yes, HeathcoteBotanicalGardens.org.
Now you need to speak up a little bit. I'm looking over here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I can fill in a little bit for Tom there. Heathcote actually used to be a plant nursery many, many years ago. And it was the people who owned it were the Crimmins family. They were going to retire, and developers were going to buy it and just make more apartments or condos or whatever developers make.
Mhm.
And a group of 5 very concerned and loving garden ladies put together a plan to solicit funds and turn it into a nonprofit, and it became Heathcote Botanical Gardens, Inc. We are a very small nonprofit, And so this is our 30th anniversary year. In fact, we just had a birthday party in October to celebrate. So we've been open to the public on what grows in Florida, both natives and non-natives, in a lot of different little garden rooms. Each one is kind of unique. We're a 5.5 acre property. About 3.5 acres are under cultivation, and a good deal of that is devoted to Garden of Lights.
Garden of Lights. Okay, now again, where's it located for my listeners? We have about 30 seconds left in this segment.
2 miles south of Fort Pierce on 210 Savannah Road. You go south 2 miles from downtown Fort Pierce,
Savannah Road. Where's Savannah Road?
2 miles south of downtown Fort Pierce,
Just-
2 blocks south of Route 70, which is the intersection
Oh, okay.
of 95.
Okay. All right, I go over there all the time.
So we were 1 block east of Route 1. If you continued on Savannah Road, you would hit Indian River Drive.
All right, we got to take a break for the news.
We're just south of Virginia Avenue, if you know the US 1 Virginia intersection.
Okay.
Oh, we're going. All
Yeah.
right.
Right on, bingo.
Now, why is the detective in here? He doesn't go on until 10:30 this morning, right?
No, but remember, we're hooking up. He's setting up that second camera of the two-view camera system in there.
I thought it was on.
No, remember, I told you that they had to get the second
Okay, but they go.
card
but-
so that you have the two-camera system.
All right. But I'm on till 10:30.
Yes, you're on till 10:30.
Okay. Now,
I'm gonna leave these with you
Okay,
because
I've
I
got
think you
this-
need them.
yeah, this is great. If you now, I don't know what kind of a rush you're in, but if you want to go back there and hang for half an hour, I got this other couple coming on. They're booked.
Yeah, exactly.
You could come back for a little extra promotion after 10 o'clock if you want. Or if you need to get going,
Yeah.
what you do is, I tell you what I will do, because I want to, we need to talk more too about getting involved in this. You know, do you have any kind of an ad budget or not really?
Not really.
You really should be.
Right.
My people listen to this. I have
Right.
a very good, I have 23 years. Even the people who don't like me listen to me up here.
We have a new director and a new budget year coming up in 2017. So if you have some information, I will take that back to her.
Because this gentleman's been kind enough to make a donation today, so you could come up, but I want to promote this. This is good for my listenership. I
Awesome.
definitely, absolutely, this is no jive. I want to be down. Barbara will love this. And I'd like to bring Beverly too.
And in the
And,
day,
yeah.
in the day, we have the largest subtropical bonsai
I
collection
didn't even
in
know
the
this
country.
exists. You have what?
It's the largest subtropical bonsai collection in the
Really?
country, and it's awesome. And that's part of what is lighted for Garden of Lights. So we get people in who've never seen any of this before.
Hold on a second. Let's do this here.
And
let's see.
on our website, there's tons of good pictures.
Okay, botanical gardens. Botanical gardens. Let's go here. Let's go here. I remember, and you could go there, and you were in charge of the people. Then you had what's the female group?
Aglow.
Well, it used to be female.
Aglow.
I used to speak for Aglow,
Yeah,
different
you
places
still
in the
gotta
United
come and
States.
Speak for us.
Oh, well, no, I don't know. But even down in Key West, they flew me in one time to speak
Wow.
down there. This is when it was really going with the
Wow.
charismatic movement years ago. And I remember one time I went over to Binghamton, New York,
Mm.
and I know people think I'm nuts, but I had this vision of this wheel, and the wheel had fire on it, and this big wheel. Yeah, it was really a presence, a very strong presence there. At Aglow. So is that Aglow thing still going strong?
Still going on. We have a meeting on the 10th.
Yeah. Where do you meet now, though? Because John went and sold the hotel.
Yeah, that broke my heart.
I know.
We meet at Christ
Let's
Church.
talk better that boy, you know?
We meet at Christ Church, the 9.23 Community Center.
Oh, yeah, that's where I go to church now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, behind the Outback Steakhouse. But I don't go into the traditional church.
Okay.
I go to Dr. Richard. He should be a doctor. He's only 30 years of age.
Yeah.
Richard Demsick.
That's where we meet, in his area,
Oh, in the black room in the back.
in the black.
What happened is there was this guy who had a gift of healing who came to town. He was in the traditional church. We arranged this thing and they let us use it. Very nice people over there. But I go one Sunday and I go and I'm sitting there. I'm not a traditional kind of guy, suits and the ties and the stoicness and the starched white shirts. It's, Anyway, so I see this little piece of paper that says Modern Church in the back at 10:30. So I go in there and we call it the Church for the Misfits. I mean, you find white people, black people, yellow people, poor people, rich people. You got people wearing starched white shirts, and you've got people wearing shorts and swimsuits. I mean, and lots of tattoos.
Wow.
But the nice thing about it is everybody's welcome there.
Right.
It's not
Right.
there's no perfunctory thing there. It's
Mhm.
like you'll actually have people just like, well, the great thing about the Jews will tell you the stupid question is the question you don't ask. If the rabbi's speaking, a lot of time you can raise your hand. So what, Rabbi, what's going on? So down at this church, you can actually raise your hand and ask,
Oh, wow.
what did you mean about that, Pastor? Or they comment. Yeah, it's very open.
Wow.
And which is the way we should go. The Goyim should learn from the Jewish people. Because you know what? Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah.
You worship a Jew, I hope nobody's offended by me quit getting around like this. I don't think they would be in this day and age, but anyway. So tell us about your book. Now they can come and they can purchase a copy this Sunday at
Millstone Landing.
Millstone Landing.
Yes.
And what the clubhouse? Do we have to know a gate? Gate thing?
Nope,
Is there a gate or
the
no?
gate should be open on Sunday.
Okay.
It should be open, and
Yeah.
you just come in right in the front, and then just go to your left, and there's the clubhouse.
Great.
And books are available. They're only $8 a copy.
Now,
So,
would you mind sharing the miracle of your granddaughter? I think that's a great story. Dell was dissuaded,
okay.
and I get dissuaded. We all do. You've been after me for a year to get my books out, and I keep going, well, it's not good enough. Well, it's not good enough. And that voice inside, and you don't do anything. I got all kinds of books written. Nothing gets out because I feel inferior. But so you're feeling like, okay, you've been writing this book. You're not feeling so like, oh, people are gonna not think I'm grammatically correct or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the scene tell us the lead up to how you were feeling and what happened with your granddaughter.
So I was working on the book, and I was near the end of just about ready to turn it in, and I was working on critiquing it and going over and over. And this one day, I just felt like, what am I doing? People are going to read this. They're going to start critiquing it instead of hearing what God wants them to hear. And I kept feeling like I'm no good. I'm not good enough to send this out. And the only one I shared it with was my husband. And I said, I can't do this. I just don't think I'm going to do it. And so I went over my grandkids, grandson Caesar and my daughter Juliana, went over to the house and was bringing them back to my condo. So we were driving in the car. I didn't share my heart with anybody. And all of a sudden, my granddaughter was in the back seat.
How old?
And she's 7
At the
years
time.
old. She was 6 at the time.
6 at the time.
And she says, Grandma, you need to finish writing this book. And she said, you are writing for God. You're not writing for yourself. And she said, you need to continue this. And she said, God wants you to know, why do you think last year when you were sick that you're okay now?
because he kept you okay. She said, because you do things for him. You pray for people. You're writing this book for him. It's not for you. You need to help other people.
Out
And
of
I
the
was-
mouths of babes, as they say.
And I was sitting in the front seat, and I mean, the tears were just rolling down my eyes. And my grandson was saying, Juliana, where are you getting this from? And she said, Caesar, God is telling me to tell this to Grandma. So she just kept on all the way, which is like about 8 minutes from my house to her house. She got to my condo. She sat up in my chair, and she said, oh, am I tired? And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, Grandma. She goes, all of a sudden, I was in the car. She goes, have you ever heard God talk to you? I said, yeah. And she goes, I heard this voice, and it was God. And he said, talk to Grandma. And she said, I knew whatever I said was not me speaking. It was God telling me to tell you to finish writing this book.
Wow.
Very, very profound.
6 years old.
Yeah. Well, the purity, the innocence of a child,
Right.
because we're so distrusting in this world of adults, as we should be,
Mhm.
you know. So for a child, that's a wonderful story. You know?
Mhm.
That's a great story. So
So-
now, tell us. I know some things you wanted to discuss today about your book. Do you? Is there anything particularly like? I hope they all read, page 37 because this was the day that really, or something. Is there?
Well, page 40, the last one, is the story about Juliana, because to end that one is that morning I woke up in the morning and I felt like he gave me the last devotion. And
Did you know the 40 is the number of testing?
no,
Okay.
really? Oh, yeah.
Well, they're out in the desert for 40 years.
Oh my gosh. Jesus.
Jesus was out in the desert for 40 days, 40 nights. Who's the other guy that was out there? Noah, 40 days, 40 nights.
On earth. Oh
Yeah.
my God. And she's the 40th
Yeah.
devotional.
And I know I'm number 40 in the Christmas parade this year. I figured
Wow.
I'm being tested.
You're being tested. And she's the 40th one. So as I
How do
had
you like
that,
that?
during the night, the Lord had waken me up and given me the last devotional. But I didn't really read it, didn't really critique it or anything. But that's how they usually come. Usually I'll just get an inspiration. I'll be playing with my grandkids or something, and I'll just kind of, whatever, like, okay, Lord, I can see how that applies spiritually to our lives. So I'll either write on a napkin or write whatever and take this certain incident and then relate it to how it appears as far as in our Christian walk, or what God is saying to us through a normal thing, like even drinking a bottle of water.
Mhm.
I can look at your bottle of water and say it's a bottle of water, but no, water is what we need in our life to survive. But we also need God in our life to survive. So somehow the Holy Spirit will take that incident of life and relate it to the Word of God. So what I had written during the night was basically what she was telling me. And it was about encouraging people through your writing. So it was just a confirmation of what the Lord was telling me during the night. Is she confirmed that in what she was telling me.
Oh.
So I finished writing the devotion
Mhm.
about it, and it's the last one.
Wow.
So of course she was kind of hurt that her devotion is the last one. But what you just said
Mhm.
will make it important.
What do you mean? Why?
Number 40.
Oh, number 40. Yeah,
Mhm.
number 40.
Yes.
Yeah, the number of testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Del, do you think that maybe you could reach somebody who doesn't refer to devotions daily? You know what I'm saying? This book might really help somebody because it does.
Well, Beverly's at a crossroads. She's not sure where her beliefs are at. I think that's what you mean, right? You're wondering,
Yeah.
will these apply to you even if you're not a believer
You're
necessarily?
putting it in the right words. Yes.
I think I would have to say, because it's not like you're reading the Bible to read this.
Mhm.
You are reading incidents in your own life.
Okay.
And so it's so easy then to understand what I feel. It's so easy to understand the way God works, because just like Jesus, he spoke in parables. So that's almost what
Stories.
these are. Stories, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
these are stories or parables, but the bottom line of them is
Mhm.
to let you know God loves you,
Mhm.
to let you know no matter what you're going through,
Mhm.
he'll be with you in it.
All right. Now, the title of the book is Daily Seeds, 40 Daily Devotionals That Will Reap a Harvest of Grace in Your Life. Seeds of Grace. And if you go to my Facebook later in the day, we'll have a picture of that up on my Facebook, by the way. And also, we'll be back with Dale in just a minute. And of course, it's coming up this Sunday. Where?
Millstone Landing,
Millstone Landing, and that's on,
west of 27th and south of Oslo.
so it's on 27th, but it's west of Oslo. It's off of 27th,
It's south of Oslo
south of Oslo,
and west of 27th.
west of 27th.
Yes.
Okay, Millstone.
Millstone Landing.
Millstone. That's going to be what time Sunday?
2 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Got to take a break. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Postal Connections on US 1 and 12th. I tell you what, they'll get your packages where they need to be, and you'll be treated very well and mannerly, and you'll pay less at Postal Connections right next to Steinmart. Okay? All right, we'll be right back.
I just ordered 100
Oh, when
while I was
frozen it?
sitting back there.
You should have done it yesterday. Why did you wait?
I just had so much going on yesterday, and then I thought about it. So I told him he's going to have to start helping me.
Yes.
And 100 is not enough.
100. Well, they can
No.
also, yes.
Does it go down in price the more you order? Or no?
You know, I don't know. I have to look.
Well, it should.
The better, right?
Happy holidays from the
It might.
Solid Waste Disposal District.
But they can also get it on my website.
Oh,
can also get
let's
the book.
promote that.
Yeah, I was going to say delbates.com. They
You
can
need
go
to- I need
there.
to really train you up in this stuff, and just do other stuff like this. You know?
Okay.
You gotta
So-
keep hitting your website, hit the
Hit the
website, hit the
website.
name of the book, hit the website, hit the name of the book, hit the
Hit the
website.
website.
Well read, as I write in Daily Seeds, which you can get at www.dailyseeds.com or whatever it is. What is your website?
delbates.com.
Delbates.com. Well, that's good.
Very
'cause you're-
easy.
Yeah,
Yes.
Del Bates, DEL Bates, Del Bates.
Wanted to keep it easy,
All right.
keep it simple.
Okay.
Oh, well, you make a person relax. That makes it easy.
Oh, good.
I mean, like just conversation.
That's what it
So,
is.
it is, it's fun.
Yeah.
It is. What do you do? So what I want to promote is, this is maybe you can help with this too. So how can I get around different places and begin to speak and bring books to sign?
Well, see,
Any thoughts?
what's gonna happen is, that's what I was told by Rick Frischman, he's now retired, but he's been in this business for years. He planned television arts. He sold the business for millions, I think, but he used to book all kinds of famous people. He said, Rhett, he said, you're not gonna make money off your book, most likely. But he
Right.
said, it's a door opener. Look,
Right.
you hand me a brochure.
Mhm.
What do you do with it when you're done reading it? You throw it out, no guilt. This book, even if I didn't like it, what do I do with this book? Okay, we'll put it over here.
Yeah.
And then it gets moved in the back, and then you move it home, then it's on the coffee table, and then it ends up in the garage. I can't throw this out. Oh, we'll give it to the Salvation Army to resell. Books, they're not gonna
10
throw out.
seconds out.
It's the best brochure you can have.
So order them.
Shavati Shikas that I giving you.
There we go.
Del Bates is my guest. And Del Bates is a woman of faith. I remember when Barbara had cancer, we came to some of your services that you were holding then at your hotel on the beach, which you sold and has been eliminated. And the culprit is right to the left of us. But, your husband is a businessman, so I'm glad for them, for he and his brother, that they sold that. But we do miss them. Maybe we can get him to open up another one, buy a franchise.
Yeah.
He's probably happy he's out of that business, I'll tell you what, right? So, but she has written a new book, and everybody that's come into the studio since I got my copy has been saying they want a copy. Well, first of all, it's black and white, except for there's hands holding a little mound of dirt with the 3 little green leaves coming out of it, and they are green. The rest of it's black and white. So really, even when I saw it on Facebook, 40 daily devotionals that will reap a harvest of grace in your life. It's very readable. I even love the fonts that she has picked. It's just well put together. Now, your website is delbates.com.
Yes.
Okay. Now, where's the event coming up this weekend, this Sunday, where people can come and meet you and they can get a copy of the book, and you're going to be speaking, do a little speech and talk to people and hobnob and have hors d'oeuvres?
Well, we're going to have Christmas cookies
Oh.
and what do we have?
I'll be there.
Lunch. Yep, we'll have some munchies and maybe a couple door prizes, and first person at the door gets a free book.
Oh, first person at the door gets a free
First
book.
person at the door gets a
Now,
free book.
speaking of cookies, though, wasn't it Gideon who came upon the angels and they said, quickly make us some sweet cakes or something?
Oh.
Remember it's in the Bible
yeah,
somewhere?
Yeah. Ask
So
John.
anytime I feel guilty about eating sweets, I go, hey, even the angels like sweet cakes. I'm okay.
John
See, God
Scott.
says he shall add fat unto thy bones. You have done it, Father. Need to lose a little. So, what else would you like to say to our listening audience about your new book, Daily Seeds, 40 Daily Devotions?
Well, I guess what I'd like to say is that if you can't make it to the book signing
Mhm.
and you still would like a copy, it's very easy to go to my website, dellbates.com, and you can purchase the book right there. It takes you directly right to Amazon. Just click the link.
Now, I knew you. We have less than a minute. I knew you when you were in town. You were a single young lady,
Oh, yeah.
beautiful, charming single young lady, and then you met this character over here, my friend, and who's you've been talking too much, John.
I know. It's
He's one.
a bad habit I have.
And so you two have been married now 18 years. Congratulations. Is it 18 years?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, 18 years. So quite a find, huh? He that
Absolutely.
findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
That's right.
You're a blessed man, aren't you?
Absolutely blessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're a blessed woman.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's been your stability too, though. It's
Yep,
an equal
he
thing, isn't
helps me in everything I do.
it? Yeah. Well, anyway, God bless you. Keep doing good for our community. What's your website one final time?
www.delbates.com.
Thank you.
That's it. You did it. Okay.
All right.
Good.
Now, will this be, can you, do you tape this?
Who?
Do you tape this?
Oh, it's going to air again tomorrow.
Oh,
It'll be on between 7:30 and 8 tomorrow morning.
Oh, good, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now that'll air between 7:30 and 8 again tomorrow morning. That'll air again tomorrow morning between 7:30 and 8. Right, because the whole thing we're doing plays tomorrow morning, right?
Okay, 7:30.
Tomorrow, Saturday.
Right,
Correct.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so,
I pay, like you?
yeah, just give me a check. Do we have a check or
Okay,
take it out to rest?
all right, I didn't.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for thanking me for thanking you for thanking me. You don't have to run, you don't have to run off. We can buy. Why don't you take some of these donuts? Are you eating any of these donuts, Mr. Sweet Tooth?
I already ate one of the coconut vanilla. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Do you have any electrical tape? Do you have any electrical tape, Sean, that I can feed this through? A piece like black electrical tape?
Let me see if I have a roll of it. I'm not sure that I did.
Okay.
I wrote it out, I checked my checkbook. I left the check with them again. Oh, well. Yeah, tell them we'll just run it right by. All right. I did, I left my checkbook right on my desk. Thank you.
Thanks for being on.
All
I do not.
Okay, let me see if I can push this up there.
right.
Huh?
That'll air again
See if
tomorrow.
I can push this up
The
there.
bad news is it'll air
Sorry
again
about
Monday
that.
morning, so we must do something between 7:30 and 8, one tomorrow and on Monday.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And we'll stop right back.
Okay. Got it.
No, easy one camera because this laptop, it's just, we can either slip.
I like that. I like, you get the split screen on.
Well, he figured out something I didn't even know about.
Well, I would like just a permanent split screen.
He's already figured out something.
That's what I want.
And that way they can see you and your guests. Absolutely.
I want me on the left.
It's just, know about our mom right now. So, yes, no, I yeah, she is the former salesperson. Exactly. Now you have guests today, Eric? Okay. Just one for the half? Okay, good. Cool.
Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by Eastside Urgent Care. It's a positive alternative to the emergency room. Courteous, effective care from one doctor, Dr. Christopher O'Reilly.
2 minutes,
Across the
Brad.
street from the Indian River Medical Center behind Perkins, Eastside Urgent Care. The Polo Grill welcomes you to dine in its clubby dining room with mahogany wainscoting, rich leather banquets, sparkling chandeliers. The owner, John Marks, has selected a seasoned waitstaff that is striving to provide old-fashioned hospitality. John offers early dining 7 nights a week, starting at only $18.95, as well as discounted wine and house cocktails. He also features a wine and dine for 2 all night long for only $75. This menu includes 2 entrees and 22 really delicious wines to choose from. Offers a true country club experience, including great food, service, and atmosphere.
I need those in there.
Please give John a call, 231-4090 for reservations 7 nights a week, starting at $4:45, or stop by at 28.
Where do you want me, Rhett? And please don't tell me the back porch.
I don't know. Sure, that'll be fun.
Did you need to finish this coffee?
What? I guess, you want to heat it for me? 30 seconds in the microwave?
Gotcha.
And then I want you to join us.
Oh, all right, thank you.
There's a good job.
Hmm?
Real estate sales, you need to be an exhibitor and be where your market will be with thousands and thousands of targeted customers January 14th and 15th. For more information,
Actually, his mother's getting his walking stick. They used to go hiking together, and she asked if she could have a walking stick in his memory.
We'll say this on the air. Could someone direct Mr. Salmons to please come here?
1 minute out.
You were talking about you want to meet some of these local heroes. Let me know when and where.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you talked to, we met out at, I don't know where you were.
You're not back on the table?
No.
In the bathroom?
Matter of fact, in the Bureau's voice, you have a picture of Ed Britt and Yankee Amatelli. In the Bureau's voice from a couple
We need to
years
be
ago.
connected to Barbara because we want to do stuff for the vets all the time. Just doesn't have to be when we have this event coming up.
Okay.
20 seconds out.
I'm at your disposal.
And she said, he didn't respond to my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I didn't hear from him again or whatever.
Someone was supposed to send it. I didn't know it was
Way over here.
What is that? It looks like,
All right, here we
it looks
go.
like a urine specimen.
Looks like
She
scotch.
said scotch, but I tried to correct.
Hey, this is the Mayor of the Airways. It's another beautiful day in paradise.
Over there.
How are you, my friends? And how are you, Beverly?
Very well, and it's been a fun morning. You've had some really interesting guests.
Yeah, what are you doing with that coffee cup? Is that yours?
No, it's cocoa. It's
Yeah.
cocoa.
Oh, it's yours?
I don't drink coffee. Yes, it's
But you
not.
don't drink coffee.
Never.
All this time. I've
okay.
known you.
Yes. No, no. The caffeine is too much for me. And I know most of the people here need caffeine to get going.
Yeah.
Right, yes. Welcome, gentlemen.
Well, of course, there's Culper right next to you here in the purple.
Yeah.
He brought in boxes of donuts today.
Oh, the fritters are out of this world.
Yeah, but they're dangerously bad. You can smell and taste the grease going through your bloodstream, and you want more, and you're suddenly instantaneously addicted to these donuts.
Why
The
is
guy
it-
told me they were all low-cal, high fiber, and
Where's this located? This place, Old Dixie?
It's on Turnpike Feeder.
Turnpike Feeder.
Yeah, Dixie Creek.
Dixie Cream.
Little known fact,
Yes.
too much caffeine causes gray hair. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Not
Well,
real.
it
No,
can't be-
don't
You've
say
been
that.
drinking a
can't
lot
be
of
aged.
coffee.
I'm not that old.
Yeah, but at least you still have it.
That's true.
Since I met Barbara, all of a sudden I've been losing my hair.
No, I'm not gonna go down that road.
Oh.
That's dangerous.
That's not fair.
Oh, well, I love her, but I don't know. Sometimes I think when you get older, maybe you should just stay single. You gotta go, is this worth it or not? Like your friend. What'd you say? Oh. So what was I gonna say?
We're just talking about age and graying, and it's all part of life.
Yeah. So you fellas are in here. We also have Mr. Salmons in here.
Hello.
How you doing, Mr. Salmons?
Super fine, great donuts. Thank you for bringing them.
Yeah. Or Lloyd.
Yeah, I'm evil, mean, cruel, nasty, and hard to get along with.
And everywhere he goes, there's a cloud of purple. He's here with the Indian River Wood Carvers Group, but he's also a Purple Heart, right? Are you a recipient yourself?
No.
Oh, and yet you were always doing all this stuff for the Purple Hearts.
Well, it's a way of saying thank you. And being a veteran, I know how it was when I returned. I was an infantry squad leader with a strike force in Vietnam. I know how we were treated. And for some of these guys, this is the first time that they've actually had a personalized thank you. These canes are all hand carved and decorated with their ribbons. Every cane has a saying on it. A veteran, whether he's active duty, retired, reserved, man or woman, is someone who at one point in time in their life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America.
They wrote a blank check. Yeah. Could be their lives, and many of them did. You're going to be honoring, now this event coming up January
21st out at the UDTC.
I had all this written down, but somebody took my white piece of paper here that had all my notes on it.
Well, I left you a fresh piece.
Barbara's trying to keep you organized here.
Yeah.
I could really.
This is not Barbara.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is Beverly.
Yes, and the culprit. Okay.
Beverly's our concierge,
Mhm, yes.
our volunteer, and our good friend.
Well, I got too neatsy and I wanted to clean up the desk.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so, but you got to watch out because that's information. But she didn't know I was going to invite you back into the studio.
Well, I should have known.
You know,
Okay.
see, this is what you have when somebody that's so efficient that they.
Beverly's a doll. We were talking.
Oh,
in
isn't
the
she?
back. She's all right. I don't
Yeah.
care what you said about her, but she's.
He could fire me, except I'm a volunteer.
Well, he's going to double your pay scale. How's that?
Yeah. So, anyway, so this event is coming up in January.
January 21st.
I was there last year.
Yes, you
It's
were.
outside at the UDT. What is it?
UDT, Underwater Demolition Training. They were.
UDT.
That was started in
Museum.
World War II, and we're trained right there at that location in Fort Pierce,
Real, right there.
right there.
Wow. So how old were you at that time? 19?
92. No,
How old were you then? 19, 18,
I was in Vietnam at 21.
21.
Yeah, but it's a wonderful museum, and the people treat us very well there. You know Rick Kaiser and
Yeah.
Ken
Is
Corona.
he still the executive director?
Yes.
Mr. Sammons, have you been there yet?
Yes,
Okay. Are you retired military too?
I served 4 years in the Army.
Did you?
And I was in Army intelligence, and they sent me to the fringes, the frontiers of the Soviet Union to keep my ear to them.
Now, Army intelligence, isn't that one of those, what's that thing they say? That's the conflict?
Contradiction.
Contradiction. Army intelligence. No, but seriously, thank you for serving.
Pleasure.
So you-
There were days, but yeah, pleasure.
You were over in Russia.
I was in the last island in the Aleutians for a year, and then in West Germany for 2 years. And then when I got out, I ended up after college, went back and was a contractor for that same arena, primarily the intelligence arena. And as they say, truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, but you got some stories inside you.
But you'll never hear.
Don't say, oh, never, never. I've noticed one thing in life. When somebody says never, jump up and down, because that means Mr. Salmons is now on my radar. We're gonna get those stories out of you.
Scotch may do it.
Yeah, we've talked. He has a bottle here today. It's a Coke bottle, but it looks like the color of the water, and it looks like it's a urine specimen. And backstage, I guess Beverly was saying, "What is that? Scotch? Is it Scotch?"
It's ginger ale.
Ginger
it's
ale.
ginger ale, okay. I used to be a Scotch drinker, but Scotch can be dangerous. You can become a bad habit. I got to the point where every night I was having Glenlivet Scotch, the 12-year-old. Do you like that?
Good choice.
The 18-year-old I found, or the 15-year-old, was too musty. I love that 12-year-old. But it's pretty bad when you land in Greece and you're staying at the Hotel Breton, and you made sure that you have a case of at least 3 gallons of it for your stay for a week. You know, I mean, yeah. I was drinking about 5 glasses a night in the 5 or 6. You know, they go into the movies and they pour a little bit of booze in the cup and say, "Would you like a cup?" You know, they take so. What good is that? I go. I look at the screen. I go, "What are you doing? What do you mean? A quarter of an inch? Give me the bottle."
And so that you had no guts. You didn't drink the Retsina.
Oh, what's the word thing? Tell me about that.
That's wine with the pine tar taste in it, because when the Turks owned them, they were taxing the Greeks, and the Greeks added pine tar to keep it from the Turks grabbing their wine, and then they decided they liked it.
Hey, this ain't bad.
It's
F.
paint,
Hardy Stowe.
it's paint thinner, yeah.
Paragalo. But have you been to Greece?
Yes.
Me too.
Sometimes.
Liked it a lot.
Love it.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
like you, I'm an RVer. I had my RV in Greece.
You shipped your RV to Greece?
Yeah, there's my blog site.
You gotta be kidding me.
4
Oh
years.
my word. You're kidding. PapillonTravels.net. Papillon, of course, means butterfly.
Right.
In French.
That was the motorhome's name.
PapillonTravels.net.
Because we never had a schedule. We traveled like the butterfly who flits from place
Oh,
to place.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Never a schedule.
Yeah,
Ever.
when I was, I used to run away from home, and I remember my stepdad told my friends, he said, "Oh, he's like a butterfly. He's always going hither and yon." And I can show you paintings at my house right now. From the time I was 12 years of age, my paintings I signed butterfly. Until later on in life, I thought it sounded too, gayish, It's kind of like this character here, who's always wearing purple. Makes you suspect here, So, we like your purple. So I couldn't call myself butterfly anymore. But papillon. Papillon. Am I saying it right?
Or try the German Schmetterling.
Schmetterling. Schmetterling. I know German's a tough language. Do you know much of it?
A lot of regressive Ks. I can get around in German
You can.
at a low level.
I don't find it nearly as pleasant. I think my favorite language is probably French. How about yours? Parlez-vous français? I mean, it doesn't matter what you're saying. You can say, "Il vent, c'est le dos." Yeah, "Il vent, c'est le dos."
Even if you're cussing someone out, it sounds like you're, being best friends.
Well, you'll notice in this issue of Vero's Voice magazine, we have past, present, and future, like because it's a Christmas issue, but it's of local chefs. And one is of the famous Yannick, who used to own Café de Soie. We've now lost him. He's no longer on the earth. Beautiful handlebar, white mustache, flowing white hair. I mean, this was the best restaurant in town. His cuisine was like so much that a famous baseball family here in town loaned them $500,000 so they could open up their Cafe de Soie years ago. And by the way, the family was paid back within 2 years. But one time I was told by his wife, actually, we were doing a recorded interview. I was the only radio they ever advertised on, virtually the only media they ever did. We all became very close, like family. And so what happened is Tommy Lasorda, remember him from the Dodgers. So he shows up at the restaurant. There were a lot of famous people that would show up there. But anyway, so he introduces himself to the door of the kitchen. He walks in, and so he walks through the door, and the chef Yannick goes, "Who are you?" And I guess the way that Tommy answered, "I'm Tommy Lasorda," or something. So he says, "I don't care who you are. Get up out of my kitchen." And he used the actual word.
Mhm.
And of course, I was not allowed to repeat that, but I think I did write it up. So that story is in. I don't know. Have you read it yet? Did you read my article?
No, I didn't read
Oh,
it
okay. It's in the current issue of Vera's
yet.
Voice.
It just came out yesterday.
Just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what you. Okay, so you're off the hook.
I'm off the hook.
So, matter of fact, we should make sure that every month, and this goes for your botanical gardens, Mr. Sammons, too, we should have Vero's Voice down there because we give 2 full pages to the veterans every issue, and we had since of 7 years. And people not realizing when you do that, that comes out of our purse.
And we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We know you
Yeah.
support the veterans.
Yeah. And
What the
there's a
different
certain price for every
organizations-
page that goes in a publication, and it's substantial. But I just want people to realize that we do that, and most importantly, not to realize so we receive accolades, but realize so the vets make sure they get your photos in. Like right now, we could take a picture of you being on the radio show. It could be in the next issue. It's too late to be in December. I'm sorry, but if you'd come in last month, they show a picture of you on, and then in the caption it says who you are and what you're promoting, getting prepared for it. So that becomes a free advertisement for the event. You know, if we take one now, we put it in the social pages for the January issue. Your event's coming up when in January?
January 21st.
Okay, so that'll be great. You'll have 3 weeks. And people put something in a newspaper and they throw it out 5 minutes later that day. You know, people go, well, I don't know. The event's on the 8th of January. You think we should advertise in the January issue? Are you going to advertise in the newspaper? It's thrown out 5 minutes after. At least you're going to have a whole week, a little over a week of shelf life. So
Well, I go to
it's funny how
various
people think.
businesses around town, and excuse me, I see Vero's Voice sitting on the shelf and
Mhm.
enjoy it. So you're out there.
Bring some down for the vets, though, because that's, we like to support the vets.
I
So,
think it's amazing the way we're showing gratitude to the vets, because there was a period of time when we didn't acknowledge veterans. World War II was different. Remember the movies, all the war movies and the patriotic signs and so forth. And then all of a sudden there was a depth of no interest. And I think it's great. I think it's wonderful.
what's the new war picture that's out? Hawkshaw Ridge or something like that?
Mhm.
Hacksaw. Did you see it?
Not as yet.
There's a
Did you
review
see it?
in your
I
magazine.
can't believe you. Oh, is there? By
Yeah.
Chuck?
I believe so.
Yeah, well, wow, what a movie.
Mhm.
The only thing is, it's if you thought Saving Private Ryan was bloody, they get too graphic in this one. I mean, you see the lakes missing, but it's the greatest promotion of peace I've ever seen. Now, the first half of the movie you'll love. It's typical, whenever years ago, and they fall in love and blah blah blah. And he's a conscientious objector. This is a true story, by the way. And he gets beat up for being a conscientious objector. I think but he sticks with it. He will not. They wanted to push him out of the armed forces. He won't leave. Anyway, he ends up in the battlefield and he saves like 30-something men. More courageous than everybody fighting. They didn't even have a gun. And goes in there. And this is a true story. Hawkshaw Ridge? Hacksaw Ridge.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, the DAV magazine just came out, and they had an interview with the gentleman that was in the movie. And
Is
they
he
had
still alive now? Or
no.
Okay, the day after I saw the movie, do you know Sylvester McIntosh in town here? Okay, he's a black man, a handsome black man, used to work in the post office. Well, for years we're talking. You know, I didn't know anything about him. So he retired years ago. Haven't seen him since. So all of a sudden, I hear the story about he's kept quiet all these years. There was somebody speaking about, well, there's a hero that lives in this town, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And he was shot through the chest, went out and brought 3 men back until he collapsed. And finally he says, well, and then he went up to the speaker. He says, well, I'm that guy, and opens up a shirt and you see the wound right through his lung. Well, anyway, so the day after seeing that movie, he was right in this room, and there's a hero there, Sylvester McIntosh. He's now a pastor, and it's an amazing story.
Yeah, the heroes they never claimed to be heroes.
No.
None of them ever.
No. It's kind of like well, you've lived long enough. It's kind of cool. You're a successful man. When people are really succeeding, they don't tell anybody. You know, when you're younger and you go into a restaurant, you see these guys come in with the ties and the jackets, and you think, oh, those are the successful guys. When in fact, it's the little guy in the corner wearing the scroungy pants and stuff who's the billionaire. It's just, you know, so it's funny when you got it, you don't need to flaunt it, right?
Just like some old gentlemen are driving these old cars and they're billionaires, you know, because they don't think that they have to have an image.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I happen to know a lot of successful people in this town, and a lot of them on the weekends they look like Hell's Angels. They pull up their sleeves, they show their tattoos, and they're driving up to that place up in Sebastian. Now, Mr. Salmons, I don't want to be remiss in talking about these botanical gardens you're involved with. And according to this business card, you are a project manager of the Garden of Lights. Didn't know it existed. It started a year ago. This is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I have a new destination for you. And next year, we got to get some pictures in Vero's Voice magazine for the December issue. Tell us all about it, would you?
The Garden of Lights, as many botanical gardens have holiday illuminations. Each does it in their own way. Ours, it's a garden, so we accent the garden. We've created light flowers. The volunteers have actually constructed light flowers.
Of what?
Strings of LED lights.
Oh.
We've done 70,000 lights.
70,000 lights.
And so you have this variety of shapes and colors. And then along the principles of garden design, you try to arrange the beds. We have one bed that's rather a variety of color in it. And then the main bed this year, and each year we are different, dramatically different. The main bed this year is a rainbow bed. So we start with purple on the one side, and the blues, the yellows, the oranges, and the reds. It's about 20 feet wide, 7 feet tall.
Wow.
We have the butterfly garden with Maureen, who was here earlier. She hand constructed butterflies from little guys that are 18 inches to bigger guys that are 3 feet wide, with the various striations of color, each of them different. I mean, she did most of that at home.
Very nice lady, by the way.
Last year, we had 4,000 plus volunteer hours into
Wow.
constructing. And
How many again?
4,500.
4,500 volunteer hours.
Yes.
For this, because I know we have McKee here. You've probably been to McKee.
Yes.
Now, have you been out to see the Grolls, the Groll Law Group on 60?
No,
Okay.
Now that you
Promise
told
me that you'll go see that, and I'm promising you that I'm going to come down and see you.
Well, I'd
I
like
can't wait.
you to come tomorrow night, because this weekend in particular, we have Vero Beach High School young musicians.
Oh,
Tonight, we have the Symphonia Strings, 20
I love live strings.
best string players. They'll be playing from 6 to 8 continuous in our world famous Bonsai Gallery. We have
a concert we're going to go to at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock at the Vero Beach Theater Guild. But maybe what we could do is we could get down there at maybe 5:45, get to see the kids with the strings, get to see some of the. Was it dark by then though?
5:45, yes.
Okay, and then see the strings, and then we could get up here in time for the concert, or we'll come tomorrow night, Saturday night. But
tomorrow night we have the Vero Beach High School Chorus. It's a shrunk version of it.
And they sing.
Yes, and we will move
Christmas
them,
songs, or
we will move them about 4 different locations within the garden. They'll have little mini concerts.
Really?
Tom, could you give us the address?
Yeah.
The address is 210 Savannah Road in Fort Pierce. It's 2 miles south of downtown on Route 1. We're 1 block east of Route 1. We're 2 blocks south of Virginia Avenue, which is Route 70.
Mhm.
So if you came down 95, got off on Route 70 east, come in about 5 miles, the standard distance to Route 1, turn right 2 blocks, turn left 1 block, you'll see our big sign. We have plenty of ample free parking.
Website?
Website is Heathcote Botanical Gardens.
Heathcote. Why the name Heathcote?
I can't tell you. I read it once, but I'm of the age where my memory doesn't carry as long as it used to.
Heathcote Botanical Gardens. And how many acres do you have down there?
The total is 5 acres.
Really?
We have about 2.5 acres under lights.
Wow.
And we have about 20 different light displays. Some are very whimsical. We have a critter map. When you come in, you will get a map that will show you, that will list 20 critters in lights, and you can see if you can find them. And that was for the children, but we
It's
found that
beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere I go. Anyway, this is terrific because it's always fun to find something new to discover, you know? So this is the Heathcote Botanical Gardens, and you're open for the next weekends, every Friday and Saturday night for the next 4 weeks.
5 weeks,
How much is the charge to get in?
$5 a dog.
That's all?
Yes.
Oh, my word, that's
It's a
terrific.
reduced admission, but there's no discounts for anyone. Even our members are paying because it's a special event. We got $45,000 invested in this.
Yeah.
And for a small garden, that's, that's money, real
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's good. Okay, and also finally, you'll be back to talk more about this, Lloyd, but coming up January.
January 21st, 2017, Purple Heart Cane presentation, UDTCO Museum, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Free of
Admission
charge.
is free.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Postal Connections. Right next to Steinmart. You want to ship it, you want to get it there? Postal Connections.
I can't make it tonight, but I can make it tomorrow night. I can't do it tonight.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm going home for dinner. It's a surprise birthday party.
Oh.
We'll leave the lights on for you.
We'll leave the lights on. That's funny.
Yeah, great. Good luck with that, but I'm gonna go
Ask for
tomorrow
me.
night. Yeah.
Ask for me.
Okay, now we have to exit this quickly,
Yeah.
so the next guy who has a show can get in here, the detective.
Mhm.
Okay, let's take this here.
Yeah.
Now you can take that. Well, let's leave this here for tomorrow,
Okay.
or Monday.
Mhm.
I would like to get a
Very
picture
well
of you and
done.
I.
Yes, let's do
Although
it.
my
Good summation at the end.
parents always told me I had a face for radio.
I know you were relying on Marilyn. You did a good job. Mhm.
All right, then see you in the back.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Straight all the way back and get to the glass door to the left. All right. Get your cameras.
like the new headsets. I got 4 new headsets.
You got it.
Really good.
Now you got 2 cameras installed.
Okay, you're in good shape, Eric.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sean. Can you disconnect your live feed over there, and then I'm going to invite Bureau's Voice, and you join my call?
Yes, am I disconnecting it on the Apple or both of them?
On the Apple, just
Okay.
disconnect your call, and then you'll get another one that'll come through from me, and join that call.